Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Pocket Stylist podcast with me, Lisa Talbot. And today I'm incredibly lucky because I'm not just joined by one guest, I have 5 guests. And this is a first actually for the podcast. So it's super exciting. I have got a wonderful team of ladies here who are the brand Tortue UK. So first of all, hello ladies. And you can all say it at the same time. Hi. Yay. And you know what? It's really interesting because I think we have to kind of start a little bit at the beginning, but I would love initially, Nina, for you to just introduce Tortue as a brand, and then we can start to talk about when I was involved in it many, many years ago, and then you can kind of all share little bits about the brand, its sizing, its sustainability, its ethos, everything like that. So Nina, start by telling everybody a little bit about Tortue UK.
Thank you, Lisa. Tortue UK is an independent business that developed, and we work with a French company called Captain Tortue. They're also a family-run business. They've been going 30 years. So their design team is just fantastic. I originally was the sales manager for Captain Tortue for the UK and Ireland for a few years. And long story short, obviously the pandemic was quite a massive challenge for everybody. Then we had the Brexit situation. So Captain Tortue, as an international company, had to withdraw from the UK and Ireland, which obviously was incredibly sad. But at that point, some of these lovely ladies I've been working with for quite a few years, I had loads and loads of messages from people saying, oh, we want to carry on buying the clothes, because I think one thing when people have bought from the 4 brands that, Tortue UK work with, is they come back time and time again, but I'm sure we'll get onto that. And then the sort of seed of the idea, my old boss, the international director, said to me, maybe there's a way to get it to work if the company was separate and a UK company. That I won't bore you with all the details, but that's all sort of Brexit and customs related. So it's like, well, if an international company like Captain Tortue can't get it to work, how can I? So lots and lots of conversations, but mainly with my sort of dream team that I'm working with now. I can remember speaking to Amelia. Amelia had managed to continuously grow her business all throughout the pandemic and lockdown. She was like queen of Instagram and really embraced social media. So I was just like, I'm quite good at bringing great people together. Sophie, I'd known for many years. Sophie had built her business over about 7 years. She had an amazing customer base and team, and so loads of experience. I was always in awe of Sophie's fashion shows that she used to put on, and again, she's great at bringing people together. Michelle, I got to know in that sort of like last year, and she's got an amazing fashion space that she sees her customers in at her home, and her fashion knowledge is amazing. And Lisa, to be honest, Lisa Sinfield, obviously not you, Lisa, I'd worked with for many years, and we've been friends now for many years. And Lisa had the experience of both sides. So she'd worked with me at Captain Tortue corporately, and she's great at training other stylists and passing on knowledge and motivating people and building people's confidence. And she'd also built her own business selling the Captain Tortue clothes. So that's really how Tortue UK came about. And it was like, we'd started really with my redundancy money and just a load of passion for the brands and the clothes. And it was like, well, I'd never done anything to do with logistics before, or warehousing, or customs. I was the sales director, but we've got a great accountant, and we were like, do you know what? We're going to give it our best shot. And the product is just fantastic. And so it's my dream team. I hope that.
And do you know what's really interesting? They always say, don't they? Sometimes we have to take risks, But not only that, we have to surround ourselves with like-minded people. And I think when you've got this amazing team of like-minded people, we're all good at certain things. We're all not as good as others. And that's when you have a team around you, it's amazing, because you pick on the ones to do the jobs who you know do it better than others, etc., etc. But it's really interesting because obviously you popped kind of back into my world. Tortue's always been in my world, but you popped back into my world probably a few months ago. So for me, Captain Tortue, which, like you said, originally the brand, it was such an amazing part of my probably start into a personal styling career, because I went to work, selling the children's clothes through the home years ago. So you're talking 17, 18 years ago. And it was only when that lovely children's brand, which my children wore all the time, they were like this mini advert everywhere I went. And then it went into this beautiful ladies' wear collection. And it was only at that point, did I look at the collection, and yes, I went out and I sold it and everything, but ladies would say to me, does this look good on me? What do you think of this color? And I used to say, yep, that looks great, or maybe try this. But it was never with knowledge, it was only with opinion. So for me, that's when I went off and I trained as an image consultant, and I trained then further as a personal stylist, because I felt that I had to provide correct and knowledgeable professional information. And for me, that's kind of where it all started. But obviously the styling thing kind of took off massively. And I had to drop Tortue at the time. But I will never forget, what it did for me. I mean, I can still see it now. My husband used to have a little white van, and I used to pile these suitcases into the back with a clothes rail. And I would travel 4 miles. And I mean, an hour and a half, 2 hours to sell these clothes, because they were beautiful clothing, great size ranges, which we'll talk about. But it's really interesting how it's done a bit of a 360, and you guys have kind of come back into my world.
Yeah, well, I've always followed you. Yeah,
that's on weird, isn't it?
Well, I do like collecting fantastic people. But I think all of us have done the putting the clothes in the suitcase, and it's sort of like traveling around. But I just wanted to say, I think the consistent theme, for all of us now, and has always been, and what you said, Lisa, is that thing to do with confidence. Because when you help a client, and you can see on somebody's face, so it's a bit like one of our taglines is clothes to get you compliments. Yeah, because when people feel great in what they're wearing, it just makes so much difference. So I've always been passionate about women in business, and a lot of the time that does come down to confidence. So whether it's beauty or clothes or anything else, I think it's really, really important. And that's when that's when the team comes alive, and you genuinely think you're giving great advice, and you're helping somebody feel good.
Yeah. And I've always said feel is a massive word. That word feel should never be underrated, because we all know if we wear something really lovely, we feel good. And if we don't wear something that, maybe doesn't fit properly or whatever, it just doesn't make us feel good. But as you were talking as well, I'm thinking, Mark, I've got all these lovely ladies on my wonderful screen. So for anyone who's listening, these ladies are also on my screen. So you'll be able to watch them on YouTube if you want to. And for some of them, they've also got some clothes dotted in the background. So you'll be able to see some of the clothing. But I thought it was probably easier if I ask one question to each of you. I think that's probably the easiest way. And if one of you wants to answer it differently, because you've got a different knowledge base, then you can do that. But Lisa, let me start with you.
Hi.
From a sizing point of view, Tortue has obviously specialised in women's wear. What's the kind of sizing ranges that you offer as a brand?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that, because it's something that surprises people. I think when people learn that it's a French fashion brand, and that it comes from the south of France, that they expect it all to be petite. And some of it is, which is fantastic, because petite women struggle often out there, but actually our sizes range from 4 to 24. So it's an incredible range. You know, there really is something for everybody across the different brands as well. And it's often a surprise to people. So, you know, we do reiterate that quite frequently, because I think people make an assumption that it couldn't possibly have that range, and it really does. Yeah. Which makes it so popular.
It's massive, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, to have a wide range of, you know, of sizes makes it, like you said, accessible to everybody. And Sophie, from a fabric point of view and a composite point of view, you guys carry a range of fabrics, don't you? Especially this season.
Yes. We've got well, a lot of our fabric is beautiful, like organic viscose. It feels amazing. It's really easy to pack when you go away as well. You just hang it up straight away. There's no ironing involved. We've got this new product. A plus. Yes. This new sort of modal product as well, haven't we? That feels amazing. We've just launched some linen, a mix of linen and cotton. And that works really well because you think of linen creasing, but actually because it's got the mixture of cotton with it as well. That's really easy to use.
And that's really interesting you said that, because linen, I see a lot of clients who say, don't let me go anywhere near linen because it creases. But interestingly, even now, I remember going back all those years, the linen from Tortue was one of the best because it had a mix. It didn't crease as, you know, yes, linen by its nature will always crease slightly, but because the Tortue linen was denser and stronger, it held its shape so much better. And I think that's what's so lovely about it. Michelle, there's a big brand ethos, isn't there, surrounding Tortue UK, and it's kind of sustainability as well. There's a whole kind of project that the brand works within, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the things, you know, that Captain Tortue has always prided itself on is, you know, is trying to, you know, make fashion greener.
Yeah.
And you know, and we have what we call our Planet Tortue, which is looking at, you know, making all the fabrics more eco-friendly, more environmentally friendly. So they're working very hard to increase, you know, the amount of eco-friendly fabrics we have in the collection. And I think we're at about 58% now in our collection where, you know, all the fabrics are eco-friendly. So you got, like Sophie was saying, you've got the modal, we've got lyocell, we've got Eco Vero viscose, we've got 100% organic cotton. So, you know, it is something that they're working with. And I think that's a big part of why I was drawn to the company as well, you know, is that they've got this desire to sort of make everything more environmentally friendly and a lot more greener.
Yeah.
So,
I know that
sorry, can I just jump in? It's also thinking about the fabrics, like that they're using this lyocell and this Tencel, which Michelle mentioned, and it's lighter than denim and it's breathable and it doesn't need washing as much. So it's thinking about the environment in a bigger way, not just the way that the clothes are, you know, sourced and produced. It's about the aftercare of the product as well, which I think is just amazing. This is one of our turtle sustainability ranges, which is lush. It feels so soft.
But also because it breathes, it works really well as well for ladies, you know, who are potentially pre-menopausal, during menopause and post. So you've got this breathable fabric that if they're feeling the heat, it works really well, because so many ladies now, you know, because we talk about the menopause so much more, people are more open to saying, look, where can I get some really nice fabric? I don't want to wear polyester, etc., etc. So fabric now plays a much bigger part in a lady's world rather than just how does it feel. So if you're a natural personality, you're always going to gravitate to that touchy-feely, but actually fabric becomes even more important during that menopausal time, because ladies want to feel comfortable, they want to look stylish, but they don't want to overcook or heat. And so I think, like you said, Amelia and Michelle and Sophie and Lisa, it's very much about that. Nina, you were going to jump in and say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to explain Tortue, which is spelled Tortue, is actually the French word for turtle. And all of our garments that are part of the sustainability range have a special label inside. So Michelle mentioned we call it Planet Tortue, but the symbol is a little turtle. So I thought Lisa was in the background with her clothes because she was going to try and show the symbol.
Oh, I have got it actually.
There you go. Oh, so we've got one from Amelia and one from Michelle, which is lovely. So is that label on all of the Planet garments?
Yeah.
All the Planet Tortue sustainability or eco-friendly or eco-designed garments will have that. And on our website, you can actually search specifically for garments that meet that criteria across all the different brands, or whether it be jeans or tops or, you know, or dresses. The other thing I wanted to say, because I obviously am head of operations, so it's like less glamorous, but I know from Captain Tortue that we obviously source our products from, their commitment to you know, sustainability or to sustainable practices is much more than just the fabric. So like, I know that they've changed all their servers to green servers, a lot, you know, trying to go plastic free in head office. The list is endless, but obviously what we really love is obviously the fabrics. With us for Tortue UK being very small at the moment, you know, we do try our best also to do what we can. So if I can just mention, quite often people say, well, why aren't there receipts and things? Why aren't there brand tags? It's just because all of that, from a paper and a resource point of view, those things just get pulled off and popped in the bin. They don't really serve a purpose. So if we've got things like that, we're not just going to dispose of them. We're going to carry on using them, but we would never reorder things that actually aren't necessary.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the clothes.
but it's all part of it, isn't it? It's part of the brand ethos. It's part of why you said right at the very beginning, when obviously this dream team of you ladies took it on board, that you had other ladies saying, you know, and customers saying, well, what's going to happen? Where am I going to buy my clothes? Because actually what's happened is you've built up this brand loyalty, this customer loyalty of ladies that love the clothes, but more important, they love what you stand for. And that's where, you know, so much more nowadays is looked at, you know, as to the fabric, you know, even from some of the high street retailers, that word lyocell, and, you know, is people see it and go, oh my goodness, that's made from, you know, recycled to do with the ocean and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So people look at it in a way bigger kind of, in a much bigger picture than they ever used to look at, for sure.
I mean, I have just come across lyocell before until, you know, Tortue started bringing it in, and it is, like you say, Lisa, it's really interesting because it is a biodegradable fabric, and it's made from eucalyptus trees, you know, which I think a lot of people don't know. And they say as well with the lyocell, it doesn't need as much dye, you know, it takes the dye in much more easily as well, so you need less dye when dyeing the fabric, so that all helps towards, you know, making things greener as well. Sorry, Nina.
So go on, Nina, go on.
Sorry. You've just made me sort of remember back when we very first started. Ruth is also one of our stylists, and she's up in the sort of like northeast. Her mum lives in France, and she was like, the same as Sophie's mum lives in Belgium. They were both saying to me, can we get the product in via my mum or via you know, France or Belgium type thing. But from my perspective, sometimes people they wouldn't necessarily understand that it quite often takes us 2 weeks to get the garments for customers. And again, that's because from an environmentally friendly and cost situation, because we're importing, if I was to airship things in, that would go against, it would obviously be a lot quicker, more expensive, but it goes against what we're achieving in all the other areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I just say on that, actually, the delivery, our customers, because it's so exclusive, that 2 week period has been absolutely fine with customers. They're so excited to receive these exclusive collections, and I think we've all been really, you know, really chuffed about that. Really pleased.
And actually, go on.
Sorry, I had a customer inquiry over the weekend saying, you know, when is my dress coming? And I had to say to her, you know, it's exclusive. Remember, there are less than 50 of those in the UK. Yeah, that's how exclusive it is.
Yeah, and if you look at lots of ladies, they want to have something that's a little bit different. But that you kind of led me beautifully actually into my next question for all of you. Obviously, go back years with me, you could buy buy this wonderful product through different stylists throughout the home. So now you are Tortue UK and you are this dream team. I don't know who to pick on. Sophie, tell me how my listeners and my customers as well can potentially find Tortue and how can they purchase it?
So there's so many different ways. We've set up from scratch a wonderful new website, Tortue UK, so people can order online, and it's very easy to look at. It has the beautiful pictures, has a description of the item, what it's made of, all the different sizes. So you can look at that. You can also you can ask questions on there as well. But also because there's not only just the 4 of us here selling, we have 15 other consultants spread around the UK. So somebody might say, have you got a consultant near to me? So we will find out, where they live, find a local consultant to them. So we always try and encourage people to see the clothes, go face to face as well. Because it makes such a difference when you see the clothes on people.
Oh, it's huge.
It makes such a huge difference. And it's so funny because I have ladies that come to me and they would have a whole list of what they would like. And then once they try the things on, they'll actually
it changes.
Something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And what looks good on me might not necessarily look good on somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's all to do with their colouring and their body shape. And we do lots of different events. I've done lots of fashion shows. Amelia's got a fashion show coming up. And we've got a style online, Tortue UK page.
I was gonna pick up on that actually, because I know Amelia is kind of your guru with the whole social media side. That Nina said that you are, you did massive through the pandemic. I know that you ladies do a lot of kind of online as well events that ladies can and gentlemen, they can just jump on and they can watch. And you do it mainly. Do you do it mainly on LinkedIn or is it on Instagram as well?
It's on Facebook.
Oh, so completely wrong. Sorry, I apologise.
Okay. The Style Online that Sophie mentioned is a private Facebook group, but anyone is welcome to join that group. You need to, I think if they search Style Online, it will come up. But we also have a Facebook presence. Obviously, Tortue UK has a Facebook page, which is great. And we also have our Instagram, which we love. So that's tortue.uk. So there's lots of places that people can find us and see what we're up to. And then, of course, we do have a LinkedIn page, which is something that we've just come into, actually, because we found, you in LinkedIn. So we thought, we definitely so that's really exciting too.
And I think go on Nina.
Sorry, I think that obviously we were linked on LinkedIn for quite a while, but we've started that because we have now put together the personal styling package, because being able to go to meet one of the team face to face and try the clothes on, obviously that is a real treat, and I would recommend people do that. We do have events, and they're quite often advertised on our social media. Amelia's got a charity fundraiser coming up, but the ladies are really good because of the skills that we got during the pandemic in actually helping customers one-to-one over Zoom. So there you can book a personal styling session with anybody over Zoom. So if you because there are a lot of corporate ladies that, again, the level of detail of our clothes is really spectacular. So as well as the tailoring. So that sort of market, and somebody that's really time poor, that doesn't have the time necessarily to go and travel and, see one of the team face to face, the personal styling sessions sort of over Zoom or online, is another option. That's why we sort of thought actually LinkedIn is probably a good place to particularly advertise that part of the service of what we can offer.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, I do a lot of virtual wardrobe consultations, and I do a lot of online shopping because I have my platform, the online wardrobe, to use. But it's really interesting. I have lots of clients who say to me, but I really want to see you face to face. But if they're in Scotland, I've got no chance because I'm like, 6 hours away. But actually, once you have that kind of almost a bit of a process, if you're a bit process driven like I am, once you have the process and the outline and all that type of thing, it's really easy to do, and it's really to help. And it's even to the point, you could send somebody X number of clothes and then they have a trying on session with you. So it's, there's so many ways of doing it. And I don't know who to direct this one to, what do you see the brand looking like in the future? I mean, obviously that's a very big question, but I can imagine all of you on this call are literally going to go, well, this is this and this, and you've got this idea. Where do you see it going? That's my question. And I don't mind who answers that or whether you all answer it, because I'm sure you've all got some ideas. My God, you've gone silent. Let me pick on then. Let me go for Lisa to start with.
I'll go. I think because we're very fortunate. We've kind of got two prongs to our business. We've got this excellent online business which is growing. It's growing momentum all the time, and we've got the face-to-face facility as well. And I think looking ahead, we bring out a main collection obviously twice a year, 2 different seasons, but we have lots of lovely little edits and style drops throughout, which is fantastic. But for people to be able to perhaps experience our clothes where they live, or they go somewhere where they know it's going to arrive, like say if you think about a band or a group you want to see on tour and you've got to get tickets because you can't miss it. That's what I'd love for Tortue. Tortue's coming to your area, you've got to get a ticket. There's only so many 100 tickets or something like that. That's what I would love.
But that makes it the exclusive. And if I think back when the collections used to drop, I used to have ladies literally at my door saying, right, when is it coming in? I want to be the first one to see it. I want to be the first one to wear it. And I think but it's like the same as, as soon as the spring summer collections start hitting the shops, whether it's online or high street, people are there because they want to see something new. They want to see the new colors. They want to see it. So I get that from you. Michelle, what about your side of it?
Oh gosh, yeah. I think there's so many ways I'd love to see our business grow. I think further down the line, I think like what Lisa says, I think is getting the brand out there more, getting people more aware of it, because it is really exclusive, it is really unique, and I think ladies like that. I think they like being able to go somewhere wearing something and they know no one else is going to be wearing that. So I think it would be lovely to offer, ladies a really sort of lovely clothing experience event. And I think for me as well, I think one day maybe we'd be able to get our own in-house, designers, and we can design our own line, to go along the lines of with Tortue, and who knows, even you've got all these young stylists up and coming out of, colleges, universities and whatever, you give them some experience and we can see what designers they come up with and try our hand at designing things ourselves. That's what I would like.
It's interesting, isn't it? Amelia, what about you? Where do you, because obviously I think you're probably a real lady after my own heart with the whole social media side, the visibility, the consistency, that type of thing. And do you see Tortue gaining even more exposure through the social media platforms? I can see you guys on TikTok.
Definitely. Yeah. I've just started on TikTok. Thank you for that little prompt, actually. I would love Tortue to be a recognised brand on, when you're at a dinner party and you're talking to someone, oh, that's a lovely dress. Is it Tortue? Somebody, for it to be recognisable, for our logo to be instantly recognisable, for people to know who we are, what we're about. To be, maybe one day to be, able to be sold on the high street. One day, I'm thinking not that we have our own shops, but sort of concessions and things. But that would be the dream, really. And I think that's really exciting because I think we can do that quite soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I can see you guys on even like QVC, because QVC is such a it's such an amazing shopping channel, but it always has brands on there that some of them are very well known, yes, but others aren't quite as well known. And again, the people that watch that kind of shopping channel love the exclusivity, of certain, like the makeup brands that you watch and you go, God, that's really nice, I've never heard of that. But it's that visibility, isn't it, of what you can do without losing, like Sophie said before, without losing that personalized hand-holding touch that clients absolutely love, because so many people now are working so hard. They're time poor. They're very time poor. So we have to kind of help them in what I do, which is why I go shopping for them and I do their wardrobe. So it makes life easier for them. And it's interesting. Sophie, what about you? Because what's your view?
Well, I was going to say, with the clothes, they really help you build your confidence. I mean, before I used to do this, I was incredibly shy. I was always the one that used to hide behind my mum and hardly spoke to anybody. But when I started this business off, I mean, I wasn't, I used to work in the city in risk management. But when I started doing this and I saw the clothes, I just thought, oh my God, I can do this, because I only wear Captain Tortue. My girls tease me all the time. And these clothes have really built my confidence. And when I talk about the clothes, I become all animated, because these clothes make ladies feel really special about themselves. So I have so many ladies that come to me and I feel like a bit of a counselor, because I'm like, oh, just try it on. And they'll put the clothes on and they'll come to life and they'll say, I'm like, you do have a waist and look at you, your legs look amazing. And with our jeans as well, they have stretch in them as well. So ladies will say, oh, I'm a size 18, and then they'll go and then they'll be like, oh my God, I'm 16, and it's like giving that name that Tortue does make you feel amazing and confident. And, I just get so many ladies involved. And when I do my fashion shows, I get ladies to model, and that, it's that whole feeling. And it's with the clothes, because they're changing all the time. At the beginning of this season, we launched, in February, but because we have these capsule collections, all these stories and edits coming out throughout the season, you don't just have a customer in the beginning of the season. They want to see you every couple of months. They don't want to miss out. So it's have that just constantly showing the clothes and just having our name there out there.
And do you know what's really interesting? If you ladies might not have noticed it, I was listening to how many times Sophie said feel. And it's the feel good factor, how ladies feel. And it's 100%, because what we should wear should give us confidence. It should give us a positive mindset. And the way as well, the whole work-life balance has gone. And also, how some ladies are only in the office 3 days a week and then they're at home 2 days a week. It's so important that they feel confident in what they're wearing, rather than just from the neck up. Sorry, neck down, neck up, neck down, only in the upper body, because actually, so many ladies during the whole pandemic, they just wore jeans on their slippers, but looked okay from the upwards, from waist upwards. But women want to feel good. It does. You're 100% right, Sophie, that it gives you confidence and it puts you in this amazing space, and it makes you, I think, so much more better to be. And I've, you might not have seen it, but I put a post out this week on my social media, which was, please don't save anything for best, because wear what makes you feel good, because that's exactly what it is. So Nina, now I was watching Nina's face actually while you were all saying where you can see this brand going, and I don't know whether she was about to fall off of her chair or she was getting excited, but you heard what all these ladies, and I think it's wonderful because the vision is forward. And it's, we can do this, we could do this, we could do this. And that's just the way I think it's amazing. Nina, where do you see, from an operational point of view, now you've got what all these ladies want to do, where do you see it kind of going?
For me, it's words like fun. It's got to be fun. Yeah. For us, we've got to enjoy what we're doing, and that whole customer care, and again, it comes back to the word feel. I got to say, the clothes are really comfortable as well, because even though there's so much detail, that's what people tend to notice and where the compliments come, but they're really comfortable as well as flattering. So that's, you know, I think everything that ladies have said are things that we've sort of touched on. So if I can just take a step back, actually, we just need people to remember that we literally have been operating as Tortue UK for like 9 months. So the first 6 months, probably for the first 3 weeks, we were running Tortue UK with a pad of paper and a pencil. Yeah. So yes, we've got this amazing website now. We've achieved so much. We've got a little warehouse. We've, you know, yeah, it's been phenomenal, the progress that we made in that first
as well.
Sorry?
Say that again, Amelia.
I just say we've got our little trips, our feel-good trips as well.
Yep. That's the fun comes in. So we are all, most of us are off to France to go and see the launch of their autumn winter 23 collections in June. We've got a lovely villa. So yeah, for me, the fun is really important. All of the ideas, I think, particularly when Lisa was talking, I was thinking, don't give too much away. Don't give too much away about our plans of Tortue UK on tour, because it is an experience. But I think personally for me, we have got things planned out almost naturally in 6 months blocks, ideally, and so far we're absolutely on track. We need a bigger turnover, we need a bigger brand awareness to, you know, be able to fund those plans, of course. But having I literally do hand pack everything at the moment, so I'll just be really cheeky and put it out there and remind everybody, I would quite like to have some warehouse assistance.
I was going to say.
So yeah, so basically you've heard of the whole sort of like package.
Yeah. But all these guys are raising awareness and selling, and there's Nina in the warehouse packing as fast as she can physically pack. And do you know what? For me, it was lovely to be able to come back into your world and raise awareness of this brand, because, you know, I still keep in contact with some amazing people that I met years and years and years ago who stayed in my world, and because of the brand, and you know, I can look back on it incredibly fondly, and, you know, with some of the things we did, some of the events we held, and I think it is an amazing brand that a lot of ladies don't know about, but need to know about, because it's exclusive, it's different, it's great fabric, it has great ethos, etc., etc. So I thank you to every one of you who came on today and helped share the kind of word about Tortue UK. And before we just finish, just one last thing, just point my ladies and my listeners in the direction of the website, Nina, please. Is it tortueuk.com?
No, it's just www.tortue.uk.
Perfect.
It's really easy.
Yeah, perfect. So all the details will be in the show notes as well for the podcast. So I really hope that you have loved listening to this group of wonderful ladies share their advice and their knowledge about this great brand. And please go and have a look at it. Thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you, ladies, so much. And I will see everybody again next week for another episode of the podcast, The Pocket Stylist. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.